our mindset is the key to our success in all areas of life. And we are told through victim culture, through this overly accepting culture, that mediocrity and performing less than what we can be and living a life that's less than what we can be is somehow okay. And it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay for a number of reasons. One, you have people in your life that look up to you. You have people in your life that are going to either win or lose because of the actions that you take. And if you show them that it's okay to be way less than what you could be, they're going to be way less than what they could be. And that has an impact on society, on culture, on this country. So you cannot say that you are a patriotic American if you are not living the standard of what you think American individuals should live to. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to reality. Guys, today we have Q&AF. That's where you submit the questions, and we give you the answers. Now, you could submit your questions a couple different ways. The first way is,
guys, email these questions into askandy@andyfrisella.com.
Or you go on YouTube, drop your question in the comments, and we'll choose some from there as well. Other times throughout the week, like tomorrow, we're going to have Cruise the Internet. We call that CTI. That's where we put topics on the screen, we speculate on what's true and what's not true, and we talk about how we, the people, have to solve these problems going on in the world. Sometimes we're going to have real talk. Real talk is just 20 minutes of me giving you some real talk. And then we're going to have 75 hard verses. That is where people who have completed the 75 hard program come on the show. They talk about how their life was before, how their life is now, and how they used the 75 hard program to get everything back on track. If you're unfamiliar with 75 hard, it is the initial phase of the Live Hard program, which is available for free at episode 208 on the audio feed only. Again, that's 208 on the audio feed only. Live Hard is the world's most popular mental transformation program. And there's also a book on it. You can get it at andyfrisella.com called The Book on Mental Toughness. It gives you the whole Live Hard program comprehensively. If you're one of those people that likes the ins and outs and all the details, I'd highly recommend it. Plus, it has a whole bunch of chapters on mental toughness, why it's important, and how you can use it to build the ultimate life. All right. We do have a fee for the show. The fee is very simple. We ask that you share the show. I'm not going to fill your ears with 30 minutes worth of ads. All right. We're the biggest show in the world that doesn't take ads. I don't want to listen to people tell me what I can and can't say. We try to keep it real. So if we're going to keep keeping it real, I need you to help us grow the show. All right. That means tell someone. If the show is good, if it makes you think, if it makes you laugh, it gives you new perspective. If you learn something, if it's something you think people need to hear, don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, good morning.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. We're energized.
You got a little whiskey in your cup over there?
No. This is a great cup, though.
Yeah.
I stole this one a few years ago.
I could tell it's old because of the logo.
Yeah, it's old, man. This is OG shit, man.
That's right.
It's OG right here.
Yeah. Hey, did you happen to see the hockey game last night?
Bro.
Did you watch it?
I've seen the clips. You know, I'm not a big hockey guy.
Well, I mean, I guessed.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I did see it.
Bro.
I've been seeing clips.
Bro, so if you missed it, Team USA beat the shit out of Team 51st State and Governor Trudeau. You know, I think they're mad. They were mad about it.
But well, you know how it started, right?
Yeah, they booed they booed their own national anthem.
They booed ours.
No, theirs.
Oh, they booed theirs.
That's going to be theirs soon.
Oh, I see.
Because it's ours, so it's going to be theirs, and they're booing it. Like, what are you guys doing?
And bro, like 3 seconds in, the puck dropped. All hell breaks loose.
Hey man, we'll beat your ass. That's just it. We'll beat your ass.
It's great, and then we beat them 3-1.
Yeah,
it's great.
I know. We'll beat your ass
on your own turf.
That's right.
That's right, man. No, it was great. I've been seeing the clips, man. Like, I like hockey. I've never been.
Bro, hockey. You never been to a game?
I've been to 2 games in my life.
Bro, hockey is the best sport to watch live.
Yeah,
no question. Playoff hockey is
even crazy.
Completely different.
Yeah. Dude, I remember my first game. It was a hat trick, and everybody throws shit on the ice.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know what was happening.
What'd you throw?
I didn't throw anything. I was about to go down and pick the shit up, but like, I was like, what's happening? Why are they fucking up? But then like, it's a cool culture.
Yeah,
it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't really understand like the whole rules of it. Obviously, I mean, yes, like get the puck in the goal, right?
Yeah.
Score the touchdown.
That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I would have a hard time throwing a hat on the ice during a hat trick, because hats take a while to break in and get right, and once you get them right, like you're going to throw it on the ice.
Yeah, you got to throw one you don't care about.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, how do they even get these in?
It's off their head.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think I would do it.
Yeah, damn.
But I enjoyed watching Governor Trudeau and his team take the L. Now we might have to play him again, so I might have to eat some shit.
Yeah, maybe.
But not today.
Yeah, hey, listen, they did it.
Yeah,
they did it, man.
You better learn how to sing that song.
Dude, we have a great national anthem, actually.
Yeah, it's better than theirs.
It's better than pretty much everybody's, honestly. I think
America's better than everybody. That's what it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
The only national anthem I think that can even compete is the French national anthem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the French one's pretty good.
Is it?
It's pretty good.
I don't think so.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, to each his own. Guys, Andy?
Yeah, we're going to get better or what?
Let's get better today.
Yeah,
why not today?
Today's the day.
Let's do it.
Today should be the day that you look back many years from now and be like, that's the day
It was the day
that everything changed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Let's see how we can make people better today, guys. Andy, I got 3 good ones for you, man.
All right.
Guys, Andy, question number 1. Andy, very simple question here. Andy, I've always been a chronic procrastinator, and it's starting to affect my career.
Mm-hmm.
I get so overwhelmed by big projects that I just keep putting them off. How can I break this habit and learn to manage my time better? Very simple question.
Most people struggle with this at some point in their life. It comes down to understanding and recognizing when our internal dialogue is talking us out of the things that we need to do. All right. That's the point of the 75 Hard program and the Live Hard program, is to teach you to understand your internal dialogue and become in control of what are seemingly uncontrollable choices in our life. And when we think about what we have going on inside when it comes time to do something that we know we need to do, but we don't want to do, we all have a dialogue. And I call that dialogue your bitch voice and your boss voice. It's kind of like in those cartoons where you see a little angel on one side and a little devil on the other side, right? And the bitch voice would be the devil, the boss voice would be the angel. And we all know what we're supposed to do, but we don't want to do it. And a lot of times, because we become chronically used to procrastinating, we easily listen to the bitch voice and we don't even hear the boss voice. We don't even hear it. So these voices become louder or more quiet depending on which one we feed through our actions. And so that's why, I think it's very important for anyone who wants to, who's ambitious, who wants to, become a successful person, to understand how to make the choices that you need to make when you don't feel like doing it, which is discipline. That's what we talk about. And discipline, grit, fortitude, perseverance, self-esteem, self-confidence, all of these things are intertwined and develop no different than a muscle, all right? You go train your muscle gets bigger and stronger. You go train your mind by doing things that you don't feel like doing, that part of your brain actually gets tougher and bigger. And there's actually science that shows that is a physiological reality inside of your brain. Andrew Huberman talks about this a lot. So we have to understand that our mental strength is no different than anything else that we practice or train or, try to get better at. At first, it's going to be hard. And as you go, it's going to get easier and easier and easier until it's automatic. And that's where we want to be, because it's not that we don't know what to do. We all know what to do. We all know how to be in shape. We all know you got to work out and, eat good food and eat less than you burn if you're fat, eat more than you burn if you're skinny. I mean, these are very simple things. Drink water, eat protein. We know how to be productive at our careers and at our jobs if we want to. We might pretend we don't know, but you fucking know. All right. So how do we get ourselves in a situation where we can lay out any plan in front of us and execute the plan? Because ultimately, most people don't win in life because they lack the ability to adhere to a plan. So if you can condition your mind to adhere to a plan, AKA stop procrastinating, not listening to the bitch voice, what is it that you cannot achieve? And the answer is nothing, because if you execute day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, even if you're 400 pounds right now and you wanted to climb Mount Everest, you could get there. Now you're going to have to lose weight. You're going to have to condition yourself. You're going to have to go through the plan of how you're going to do all that, but you can, and it's reality. So I am a firm believer that most of us can do anything we want to do. And are there physical limitations? Am I going to be able to 360 dunk? Probably not. But most things we would want to do: build a business, build a career, have a good income, do some cool shit, be active, be in shape, look good, feel good, be proud of ourselves. All these things are easily accomplished when we become aware of our internal dialogue and we learn to listen to the correct internal dialogue. So when you want to stop procrastinating, this comes down to the very simple idea of what voice is louder right now. And the voice that's loud for you right now is the bitch voice. And you have to become aware of the other dialogue, which may be very quiet right now. You might have to listen very closely to hear it. But once you start listening and obeying that dialogue, it gets louder and louder and louder, and the bitch dialogue gets lower and lower and lower. So how do we do this? We do this through forced action in the beginning. So when you get home from work and you know you have to train and you have to, you're already tired, bro. You had a rough day. You work was tough. We all have tough days at work. It was stressful. It was hard. I'm tired. I didn't get to eat what I wanted to eat. We have all the excuses in the world. I got in a fight with my wife or my husband, all the excuses. And you sit down on the couch and you start saying, man, I deserve this. You need to tune that voice out and you need to ask yourself, what am I supposed to be doing right now? And the minute that you hear the answer to that question, you have to get up and go do the thing. All right. Like if you're doing 75 hard and you get home, it's 10 o'clock at night and you're like, fuck, I didn't get my 45 minutes of cardio in. And you start saying, well, dude, immediately get the fuck up, put your shoes on and go do it. And taking immediate action, forcing yourself to take immediate action will eventually lead to less and less and less effort to create a scenario where that action can be taken. So the first time you do it, it's going to suck. The second time you do it, it's going to suck less. The third time you do it, the fourth time you do it, the 100th time you do it, it's going to be automatic. And that is where we want to get our minds, bro. Our mindset is the key to our success in all areas of life. And we are told through victim culture, through this overly accepting culture, that mediocrity and performing less than what we can be and living a life that's less than what we can be is somehow okay. And it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay for a number of reasons. One, you have people in your life that look up to you. You have people in your life that are going to either win or lose because of the actions that you take. And if you show them that it's okay to be, way less than what you could be, they're going to be way less than what they could be. And that has an impact on society, on culture, on this country. So you cannot say that you are a patriotic American if you are not living the standard of what you think American individuals should live to. Not saying anything other than that. You cannot be a patriot. You cannot be patriotic American and live less than what you are supposed to do. We have an obligation to do that. We have people, including people in my family, and probably yours too, who have either been injured or been killed or laid down their life for us to have the opportunity to be great. And if we're not taking advantage of that opportunity and we're saying, well, freedom means I can just float through life. That's not what the fuck these dudes died for. That's not what these people sacrificed for. And quite honestly, I think you're letting down, everybody around you. And that's one reason. Another reason, a lot of people right now, it's real popular to claim their Christianity, which is great. And to talk about God, which is great. But there's also a lot of people that don't live to the standard that, we've been blessed and able to have the opportunity to live. Do you think that's being a good Christian? Do you think that's being good to God? It's not, okay? A lot of misinterpretations of the Bible exist, and people use the idea of humility and meekness to not go out and achieve the things that they want to achieve, all right? If you had a son or a daughter, would you want your son or daughter to live less than what they could be, to have a life that represents far less than the potential that you actually created for them? No, you wouldn't. You would be ashamed of them. And God is too. So when you sit there and say, oh, I'm humble and I'm meek and I don't want to do anything and I want to sit on the couch, and you want to fucking eat chips and be fat and be lazy and not achieve anything, not contribute to anything, not build anything, not become anything, you're letting down your obligation not only to the United States of America and all these people, but you're letting your obligation down to God as far as I'm concerned. So there's a lot of reasons why it's important that we get control of our ability to adhere to a plan, to control our inner dialogue, to have discipline, to build grit, perseverance, fortitude, and become proud of ourselves because it shows other people how to do the same.
I love this topic. I want to ask you this because, and you've said this, many of times. You said it to the podcast, right? Like, you're naturally a lazy person. Fair?
Very fair.
Okay. I just don't want people to think I'm talking shit. Like,
no, it's very fair.
It's a true thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's work, right? And I think a lot of people,
you don't get to 350 pounds without being a lazy fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I get it, right? I think the thing is, though, like, it's very easy for people to say, I want this result, but I don't want that work.
Well, then they're not going to get the result.
Well, I think
that's entitlement, bro.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
No, I think too, it's like for a lot of people, achieving success, achieving that dream body, achieving, that new job, that new position, that new promotion, the work can seem overwhelming, right? And so when you are a lazy person, naturally, whatever the case is, how do you strategically tackle this to make it to where it's not this overwhelming thing?
Well, first of all, it doesn't matter if you feel overwhelmed. Like, it doesn't matter if you're frustrated. It doesn't matter if you're mad. It doesn't matter if you're bitter. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. It doesn't matter. Those things do not matter. It doesn't matter if your friends don't believe in you. It doesn't matter if your parents don't believe in you. These things do not matter. How you feel does not matter in the equation of building a life, okay? What you do matters, and that is it. So if you say, I want to go out and I want to do these big things, but the work is overwhelming, then you have to go out. You have to decide what it's going to take to get to where you want to go. You break it down from where you want to go backwards to where you are, and you make a plan that you execute on every day. And if you get yourself in a position where you can adhere to a plan, what the fuck can you not achieve? And the answer is you can achieve anything. There's nothing that can stop you. All right. So where do you want to go? Where are you? Reverse engineer the plan, execute the plan forward by creating a scenario where you're able to execute on the things that may overwhelm you or may frustrate you, or, all the things that everybody deals with this, by the way, and we need to understand this. The people that you admire, the people you look at, the people who achieve all these amazing things, all of those people along the way have been frustrated a lot, have been angry a lot, have felt demoralized a lot, have felt overwhelmed probably the whole time, okay? Greatness and achievement are not fucking free. They're not free. They come with a price. But all of those things are feelings. They're not actions. And in the real world, actions produce the result, not how you feel about it. We live in a society right now where people think their feelings fucking matter, and their feelings just don't matter on the end result. So you have to learn to operate in spite of those feelings. And if you do, you will move forward when everybody else, when they feel overwhelmed and they feel frustrated and they're tired, they'll stop and you'll keep going. And that's how you get where you want to go. And honestly, that's how you beat everybody that's competing with you for the same position. And they are. There's millions of people out there that want to do the same shit that you want to do. And, everybody says abundance mentality. That's cool. I get it. I want everybody to win. I don't get jealous of people winning. I think it's an amazing thing. However, the reality is there are limited seats at the table, and you cannot argue that. It is fact. How many people are at the top versus how many people are at the bottom? It's a massive difference. So statistically speaking, there are limited amounts of spots here and unlimited amounts of spots being at the bottom. And you want to work your way to one of those limited spots. And you have to be competitive. You have to understand that there's a timeline. You have to have a plan, and you have to be able to execute the plan whether you feel like it or not. I mean, dude, look, if you need help with this, there's a tool called the Power List, all right? I developed this tool fucking 20 years ago so that I could be productive day in and day out. We're not talking about hundreds of things a day. We're talking about 5 simple critical tasks that you do every day. And not only does this help you be productive and get things done, whether you feel like it or not, it gives you an even pace of moving forward. Every time you complete your power list, you get confidence. Every time you don't feel like it and you execute on it anyway, you're still moving forward. And it's a great tool to allow you to live your life and have free time. We have all these knuckleheads on the internet telling people they got to work 50 hours out of 24. That's not true. You just have to be effective. So if you want to learn that system, which is very, very, very effective, there have been tens of thousands of people over the, probably hundreds of thousands of people over the course of my podcast career. In fact, I know that's true because we sold that many books. All right. So it's probably millions of people at this point that have used this to become more productive and become successful. And it's free. Okay. You can get it at episode 16 on the audio feed. I give all my fucking shit away for free, guys. All right. They're very powerful tools. Go get them. Go to episode 16, listen to the episode, learn how to do the power list, incorporate it in your life, and you're not going to have problems moving forward.
I love it, man. I love it. Guys, Andy, question number 2. Andy, you actually mentioned, you talked about this just a little bit, so this question, too, is perfect for humility, ego, in the pursuit of winning. Okay, let's talk about it. Guys, Andy, question number 2. Hey, Andy, been a long time listening to the podcast. I love the show. You are the reason for me getting into business. I have recently had a weird thought pattern in regards to success and confidence versus ego. I was driving home from the gym and started having thoughts that made me uncomfortable because it felt like it was coming out of ego. I'm 23 with a decently successful business, and I bought a C7 Corvette Z06. P.S. You need to get one, manual. But on my way home from the gym, I noticed myself looking at other people driving around in the cars on the road while they were commuting to work. I couldn't help myself but to have thoughts of I am better. Or even at the gym, working harder than everyone in there and knowing no one else is leading to me thinking I am better. I've always compared myself to guys like you, successful people, guys who are winning, because you guys are the top of the top in terms of business. I can acknowledge that I'm not even close on the list to you guys, but not fully at the bottom. I know I am not better than these people, and it doesn't make them less. But where is the healthy amount that is no longer a humble confidence because of what you have sacrificed and the work you put in, compared to, is it just ego that needs to be humbled? How do we do this?
All right. First thing is the fact that you're aware of this is a good thing. Most people, the reason that their ego gets out of control and it ends up fucking them over is because they're not aware of it at all. Okay. They just start to have little wins and then they think they're better than they really are. And I'm going to be real with you, dude. Driving a C7 Corvette ain't a fucking win. Okay. It's maybe a win for you depending on where you came from. Just like when I started getting nice cars, I thought I was winning too, but I'm here to tell you as your big bro, it ain't a fucking win. Okay. Now, it's a good little bite. It's a good little taste.
The taste of it.
Okay. But you got a long way to go. All right. So that should humble you a little bit. All right. Here's the reality. When you fucking work hard and you produce a result, and it's clearly a result that everybody else is not getting, it is okay to acknowledge that and say, all right, I'm on the right track. Okay, I'm doing good. And to feel proud of what you're doing, and still in the same breath, understanding that everybody else, if they did the work that you do, would be in a similar position. Okay, where we get in trouble with humility and ego is when we look at other people and we think, they're pieces of shit because they're not me. Well, it's not true. They have the same capacity to produce results as you do. They just haven't followed the plan. So what does that mean for you? That means that you're not really that special. You've just been executing when they haven't. And if you acknowledge that as the truth, that's humility. Okay? Humility is not thinking less of ourselves. It's thinking more of someone else and understanding that they could do the same things that we could do if they had made the same decisions that we have made, if they had done the same work that we have done. So this is how you balance out ego and humility. Humility is very important to the success process because once you lose it, you lack the ability to learn and develop and progress. If you know everything because you're so good at it, how can you get any better? You can't. It's impossible. So the minute that you think, man, I'm the best, man, nobody can fuck with me, and people usually do this at the level that you're at a level that's far below what they really should be at. So when we get to that level, it makes it impossible for us to progress. And this is why we see so many people kind of get to a minor level of success and then fucking peter out. And then eventually it goes away because they lose the drive, the hunger, the will to do the work that got them there, and definitely lose the drive, the hunger, and the will to progress further. So when we think about our egos, we have to understand that both ego and humility have their purposes, all right? If you're going to perform at a high level, under pressure, you cannot walk in being timid and meek and scared and afraid. You have to walk in like you're the motherfucking man. You got a 20-foot dick, all right? That's the truth. When I go on stage and talk to people, I don't go out there thinking, fuck, I hope they're going to like me. I go out there thinking, man, these motherfuckers are lucky to see me today because I'm going to blow their motherfucking minds. That's a different attitude. But I don't carry that outside of that. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's about knowing when to apply the tool versus knowing when to apply a different tool, all right? And most of the time you want to live in a state of confident humility, meaning you know that you know what you know, but you also know that there's way more that you don't know than what you know, all right? So, and then there's another truth. The truth is, if you're training and you're in shape and that's the goal and they're not, you are better. That's competition. Okay. But it doesn't make you a better person. It just makes you producing a better result in that framework. Yeah. So, it's a delicate scenario and we live in this society that, really beats humility into people's head because most people don't understand the true definition of humility and they use humility to hide behind the lack of work, the lack of effort, the lack of care, the lack of producing results. How many people do we know that their life looks like a fucking dumpster fire who then turn to you, who you have ambitions and you're doing work and you're working hard and say, don't forget where you came from. You're not very humble anymore. You better be humble. Oh, humble like you, someone who can't pay their bills, a shitty little house, and a shitty little car, and a shitty little life. No thanks. Okay. I'd rather be a cocky fuck who produces than be a poor little me who uses concepts from the Bible to hide behind. We talked about Christianity a minute ago. Let's talk about it again. How are you honoring God by using the Bible to hide behind your lack of effort, development, and results? You think you think that's an approved thing with him?
No, you think he doesn't know we're in there,
bro? Not only that, if that was your son or your daughter, and you said, "Hey, why aren't you doing this stuff? Why aren't you becoming the most that you are? Why?" And you said, "Well, you said to be humble. You said, and then they sit on their fat ass playing video games." You're gonna look. I don't care who you are. God's gonna look at that and say, "That ain't what it is." That ain't it. Right? So there's a lot of propagation of humility that is not the real definition of humility because most people, quite honestly, just don't want to do the work to win. And they want to call you out and make themselves feel better saying you're not humble. Bro, listen, you have to be humble to be successful. Okay. But to be humble, you have to be good first. All right. You can't be humble about not doing anything. How can you be humble about having no skills, no results? That's not being humble. That's just being a loser. Yeah. All right. So we have to understand that not only is humility, required for success, most people don't even understand what it means at all. It's an excuse, right? And here's what I mean by required for success. How can you keep going up the ladder if you already know everything? So like those people that you see that you like, for example, dude, a lot of people think I'm not humble because I show my cars and I show my life and all this. Bro, I worked 26 years. If you don't like that, eat a dick. Okay, real talk. I've earned what the fuck I have. Secondly, it inspires all the young people out there who are 20, 30 years old to know that what they are doing will have a payoff of a certain kind. Okay, it has nothing to do with humility. All right, humility is me understanding that as much success as we've had in business, a lot of it is due to my smart people around me. It's due to my ability to pick up new skills. It's due to our collective ability to know what we don't know and what we need to learn and improve. That all takes humility. So you actually can't be successful without humility. And, the people who throw the rocks and say you're not humble, they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. So, when you're driving down the road and you're C7, which I can appreciate, like I said, just remember, you got a long way to go, bro. You haven't even started. And to look around and think you're the shit because you're driving a certain car is not how you should be thinking. You should be thinking, all right, I'm doing okay. I'm on the right track. I got a long way to go. And you know what? All these people out here could do the same thing if they were following the plan I'm following. It doesn't make me better. I better keep following the plan and I better get better. That's humility. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Look, one follow-up on this because, you touched on it. You hear all these people say, all these, success gurus, they're always like, oh, you got to stop and smell the roses, right? Now, you had mentioned while you're along on that path, maybe that C7 is that.
Yeah, for sure.
That reminder,
for
okay,
sure.
Hey, I'm doing it.
Listen, my first exotic car was a, what we call it a cheater car in the car world, okay? It's a car that looks cool, but has a shit ton of miles on it. So I bought a cheater Aston Martin V8 Vantage for 60 fucking grand. My first nice car. Now, that car when it was new was like 130 grand or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, I drove that car and I loved that car and it made me feel good, but at no point did I fucking say I got it made. You know what I'm saying? Right. I knew I knew where I was. And I told the truth to myself about where I was. And I think that's really what it comes down to, And yeah, dude, you have to make things that you want in your life reality. And that can be tasting it along the way, like picking up this C7. Cool, bro. But that can also be like window shopping. One of the things I used to do was I would go to the exotic car dealership, the one that I go to now and buy cars. And I look at the cars and, Sal and I would go out there and we'd look at the cars and they'd chase us off because,
They knew you wasn't serious.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I used to go around and look at houses. Dude, and for example, like my house, the last two houses I've lived in, I knew that I would live on those streets or in those houses before 20 years ago. Okay. You know where my old house is. Yeah. My old house up here in Sunset Hills, when they were building that street, I used to drive up there when they were building it, and I would think, fuck, dude, one day I'm going to fucking live on this street, okay? And eventually I did, and I lived there for 5 years. I used to drive by the house I live in now and, like, just park there and fucking look at it, and they used to chase me off, okay? So, and there's a long story to that I could tell, but the point of the matter is like you have to window shop. You have to go see what you want. The reason most people end up with nothing is because they never make a decision about what they actually want. And then they don't make a plan on how to get there. Well, if you don't know where the fuck you're going and you don't know how to get there, how are you ever going to get there? Like if I want to get to Los Angeles and I never decide that I actually want to go to Los Angeles and I certainly don't figure out how I'm going to get there, how am I going to get there? How can you be mad about where you're not if you never actually make a plan to get there? Right? And that's how most people spend their lives. They spend more time planning a vacation. They spend more time planning a Friday or Saturday on the weekend than they do where they want to be in life. And they let life happen to them. They let it float towards their way. They grab the shit they think is the best option at the time. And then they look at it like, well, this is just what life gave me. And that's a reactionary state. And that's just not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to go out and make it happen. We're supposed to decide what it is we want, make a plan, and execute that plan, and then eventually end up where we want. This is real shit. And most people just don't do it. If you ask most people what they're going to do this weekend, they can fucking tell you. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to do this. We're going to go to this game. We're going to do this. If you say, hey, where do you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? They fucking can't even answer you. They'll say generic shit like, well, I want to make twice as much money. Or I'd like to live by the ocean. Or I'm going to tell you right now, dude, nobody accidentally makes more money. Nobody accidentally ends up on the ocean. Like, that takes effort, that takes planning, and it takes ridiculous, diligent, consistent, disciplined execution over time. And it's like that for everybody. So most people, honestly, dude, I don't think they understand the rules of the game, and then they end up mad that the game doesn't, reward them. There's rules. And if you're not executing on the rules, you're not going to get what you want. Like, it just is what it is.
Love it, man. I absolutely love it. Guys, Andy, let's get our third and final question in here. This is like going all together. Let's full circle jerk this thing right here. Guys, Andy, question number 3. Andy, I have had a business idea in mind for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most people do.
But every time I start thinking about it, I get overwhelmed by the possibility of failing.
Yep, most people do that too.
What if I pour my savings and energy into this?
And it doesn't work.
Only for it to flop.
Right.
The fear of making the wrong decision keeps me stuck in this planning stage. How do I move past this fear and take action?
Well, you should first realize that if you don't change the way you think right now, you're not going to get shit. You're guaranteed to not get shit. Okay? So you should, instead of ask yourself, what if I do all this and it doesn't work out? You should ask yourself, what's my life going to look like if I don't do it? Mm-hmm. And the answer is, it's going to look like it looks now, and it's going to progressively get worse and worse and worse as you age, because it gets harder to make money. All right. So, which leads to a lesser quality of life. And no matter what all the do-gooder hippies say, money matters a lot. It's just reality. Okay. So you have to understand that the thought process that you're dealing with is natural. It's most people, and it's easily overcome. All right. If I were to take you to the base of Mount Everest and we were to stand there and you're to look up at the mountain, your natural thought is like, fuck, I don't know if I can make it. But you know what the truth is? Every single person who's ever climbed that mountain did it the exact same way. And every single person who's ever built a life that they dreamed did it the exact same way. And the way is very simple. It's one step at a time. And we make up this story in our heads. What if I do all this work and it doesn't work out? What if I put in all this time and it doesn't work out? What if I put in all this effort and money and quote unquote sacrifice and it doesn't work out? Well, first of all, it only doesn't work out if you quit. All right. And the path that you're taking is not a clear path. You think that it's going to be, I'm going to go and maybe something's going to happen that's going to crush me. That's not how it works. You're going to take steps. And as you take steps, you're going to take a misstep. And when you take that misstep, something is going to happen where it's going to teach you not to step there again. All right. So that's a lesson. Now you have to look at that as a new acquired skill. As stupid as that sounds, a new acquired skill is to know not to step fucking there. All right. Then when you get to go back again, you're going to know not to step there, and you're going to get a little bit further. And then you get a little bit further down the path and something else happens. You get to a roadblock and you have to go backwards. And you're going to know from then on, like, hey, I can't go down that path because it's not going to work. And then you amplify this process over time, meaning going, making mistakes, learning the lesson, acquiring the skill, going back one step, and applying the skill to overcome. This is the fucking plan of getting anywhere. And so you have to understand that you are in control of your ability to get where you want to go. And it's not up to chance as long as you don't quit, okay? And you have the intelligence capacity to not make the same mistake multiple times over and over and over. Meaning, if you step in that fucking hole and sprain your ankle, you're smart enough not to sprain your ankle again. If you hit a roadblock, you're smart enough to fucking not go down that path again. And, some people just lack that intelligence. Some people don't get it. But if you're that smart, to, touch the stove, burn your hand, not touch it again. And you can develop the tenacity and the grit and the perseverance and the discipline to go no matter how you feel. There's nothing you can't do. So that's the way the path really works. A lot of people think, I'm going to go and then something's going to happen and it's going to stop me. Yeah. But what are you going to do after that? All right. And these are the key things that we need to be successful. So everybody thinks that way, but that's why everybody is everybody else and you're you. All right. So for you to get where you want to go, you have to understand that the things that you're going to do are only a sacrifice if you quit. Otherwise, they're an investment. And if you know how to go and you know how to persevere and you develop the discipline, grit, fortitude, perseverance, and all that shit that we talk about with the Live Hard program, that it does help you develop very strongly, which is why there's millions of people that do it over and over and over again, you can get wherever you want to go. So this idea of what if I do all this work and what if I do all these things, that's the faulty way to think about it, because the way of achievement is not a clear-cut path. It's a process of going, fucking up, learning, applying, and then going again. And it's very simple. And the ultimate question that we should be asking ourselves, anybody, is not, what if I do all this work and it doesn't work? It's, what am I guaranteed to get if I don't do it? And you already know what that is. You've already lived that. That's why you want to do something else. The reason you have this idea, the reason you want to do something else is because you're not satisfied with where the fuck you are. So you either get to go or you get to stay where you are. And that's that. Those are the two choices. So what would you rather have? I would pick 100 times out of 100 to go, because I know I'm going to learn new skills. I know I'm going to meet new people. I know I'm going to progress. And even if I don't ultimately get where I want to go, I'm going to be in a much better spot than where I am now. And that's that. The only guarantee that you're going to have when it comes to success is that if you don't chase it, you're guaranteed to have nothing. And that is it. So we have to understand those are our choices. This is the process. There's no other way. All these stories you tell yourself about that guy got lucky or he had the perfect circumstances or this, that, and the other are bullshit. All right. And that's why I Live Hard. People are like, why do you have to go outside in the wintertime? That's not safe. Because guess what, motherfucker? Conditions are never perfect, and you have to learn to execute when conditions aren't perfect. If you can't execute when conditions aren't perfect, that means that your success is determined by the circumstances that are laid out before you. And if your success is determined by the circumstances that are laid out before you, it only takes one or two things of unideal circumstances to keep you from going where you want to go. And that happens to everybody. There's nobody that's ever accomplished anything that went down the path without constant bad circumstances, hardships, and all this other shit that's going to happen that you don't plan. That's why success is so special. That's why winning is so special, because you're showing everybody else how to overcome these things. Okay. And it's a duty and it's an obligation and you take it seriously. So here's the choices: be where you are and fucking hate it, or go and get to a better place.
Let me ask you this, Andy. What is more valuable is, when you talk about, going down this path, making those mistakes, learning from it. Okay.
Yeah.
What's going to be more valuable?
Do you know why people listen to me, bro? Do you know why fucking people get value out of what I said? It's not because I know all this shit. It's because I stepped in every bad hole. I found every roadblock. I every single thing up, not in theory, in experience. I've been an entrepreneur for 26 years. Name me another dude out there with a podcast besides maybe Ramsey, okay, who's been doing what I do for that long and built iconic shit with it. All right, real talk. There's nobody out there. So the reason that you guys find value in what it is that I have to offer is because I went when I didn't know shit. I wasn't born with this. Dude, I was a CD student. There's people at my high school that are like, dumbfounded by where the we are.
No way.
Yeah. But it's all right, man, because that's how it should be. And it shows you the reason I believe in all of you and the reason I know you're capable is because I was you. I wasn't born with extra shit. Okay. So I know how to build it. I know how to create it. I know you can do it too. So when we talk about, what the value is in the journey, because you acquire all these skills that allow you to do amazing shit in your life, man. And like, you guys are bombarded by fucking losers. That's the truth. Most of the people that you spend your time around are fucking losers. They might be nice people, they might be good people, but when it comes to achievement, it comes to ambition, it comes to building, creating, becoming, they've just accepted what they are, and that's fine. They're probably, fucking so ignorant to what they could be that they're happy. Ignorance is bliss. Man. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. I'm not judging it. But if you're listening to this, you're ambitious. You want to win. You want to achieve. So you have to understand that is a different fucking path than all these people. And they're all going to tell you the shit that they think, and they don't know a fucking thing about what you're trying to do. So we tune it out. We understand that if we go down the path for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, dude, this is the greatest thing that happens. Okay? This is the greatest thing that happens. In the beginning, everybody's on the same level. There's all these people that want to do all this shit that you want to do, but they won't go because they think, what if I do all this work and it doesn't work out? And then you go for just 5 years, okay? There's so many less people at 5 years in than there is in the beginning that the competition is way less. If you go for fucking 20 years, like, dude, listen, I've been in my business for 26 years, what I do, okay? If a new company comes along and they have some success and they hit a couple doubles and they're doing okay, do you understand how much more understanding of the game in the game that they're playing that I have than they have? You understand?
Yeah.
It's
not comparable.
I can look at them and say, you're doing this, and this is going to fuck you up. I can see it because I've already seen it or done it. All right. So when we develop that level of understanding of the game that we are playing, it's not hard to operate, bro. You don't have that much competition. Sure, there's people out there that are much bigger than us and, do things better than us, but dude, they've been doing it longer. You know what I'm saying? Or they got in the right place at the right time and they go up and they come right back down because they don't have the 26 years of skills that I give you motherfuckers for free. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, well, how do you explain this? Well, that's an anomaly. They went here and now they're back down. And the reason they're down is because they don't have the experience. Yeah. So the value in the skill set, it's immense, bro. It's everything. And you only get it through going.
I love it, man. I fucking love it. You can't win this week. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, well.
That's a hell of a way to start.
Yeah. Guys, I want to remind you again that the MFCEO project, which is all about success and all about personal development and all about becoming the best possible individual citizen that we can be so that we can turn this country to the way that it should be, is launching very soon. And if you're interested in it, it is only going to be launched through my email. And if you want to get on the email list, go to andyfrisella.com, register for the Andygram, which is my daily email. You'll get one email a day. It's a positive message that you get every day, a message of reality and truth and success and personal development. Get on that email. And you'll know how you can get the MFCEO project when it launches. So,
well, guys, Andy, that was 3.
Yep. We'll see you tomorrow for CTI. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.